mgbe ọ gbara ike dibịa nwe ogbenye agụjiri ọbara akpụ aka edu n'abalị ike eze ọgụ agba egwurugwu chere mba alụsị bụ isi kalụ bụ isi Igbo mere ochie nkume asatọ dị ire ngwakwanụ oge ezuru ha gbasaga ozi unu anyị sị ndị omere ndụ ha zụ mere ala azụ ha nwere adịrị nwoke ma ya dịkwara nwaanyị mmanwụ ọma ya mere onye ya merekwara ibe ya Igbo bụ Igbo ekeleela m unu ezumezu ndị nwe mmadụ ekeleela m unu ọ bụ mbụ Dr. Charles Chukwuemeka Amanze abịala m wute okwu dị mkpa okwu a dị mkpa bụ ihe anyị ga-eleba anya ya taa ihe gbasara omume okpukperechi na omume ihe ala Igbo gbasara ịrụnye agwụ dịka ofu nwanne anyị nwoke na nwanne anyị nwaanyị nke nọ mba ofesi na-ajụ na-achọ ịghọta n'ụdị dị aṅaa ka a ga-eji wee rụnye agwụ a ka anyị ike mebe ịrụnye agwụ na nkọwata ya n'okwu oyibo. Today we are discussing an important part of our culture which has to do with ịrụnye agwụ isi. Institution of the matter called agwụ isi is a matter. And that's what we are going to discuss today. But before I go into that, I would like to give you a background of study, a background of investigation, that if you understand it, you will understand what agwisi is. I have taught in the previous lecture the category of the agwisi spirits. And I made to understand that these are not evil spirits. Neither are they the devil we are talking about. But today we are going to understand the agwisi proper again before we can proceed. I would like to look into the record of the ancients to read a passage for you. It is said that these scriptures, these informations were given to Moses. And these informations is what the gods call decrinological science. Now, the decree, the knowledge, and the science of it. Now, we are not discussing the decree, we are not discussing the science, we are discussing the knowledge right now, which has to concern with Agwishi, not Ohanjoko, not Imoomiri, that is Muomiri. You understand? Okay. Now, I want us to get your pen, get your papers, and be ready to take this information, and then you go into research. As the bearer of the scepter of the God, I want to announce him. Every man, every woman all over the world, as far as you are a black race, I want you to know that you are the descendant of Abraham. Be it the black race in the Arab community, be it the black race in the Nomadian community, be it the black race in the Aburo community of Igbo. You are all the children and descendants of the great Amadioha, who is the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. The God Abraham saw, the God Isaac saw, the God Jacob saw, the God Moses saw, the God that all these prophets, even Elijah saw, is the great and only Amadioha. Every black race will hear this. That is your God. And he is the King of Kings. I have announced him. Any Igbo man that deny Amadioha have denied himself. It is a fact, a firm and unshakable truth that is inching to the ear, but it must be told. And that truth today is what I am standing here to testify, that the God of Isaac, the God of Abraham, the God of Jacob, the God who called Moses is the great and only King of Kings called Amadioha. He rules above the heavens. He rules. If there is anywhere you have a king in the spirit, he is the king over that one. He is the person that the Bible called the King of Glory, the King of Kings, is the great and only Amadioha. There is not two. So if you want to call the God of Abraham, remember today that I, Dr. Charles Chukwemeka Amanze, the High Prince today living, tells you that the God Abraham called is Amadioha. The God Isaac called is Amadioha. The God that Jacob called is Amadioha. There is no other God. If there is, tell me his name. We have heard of Elohim. We have heard of Jehovah. We have heard of all English manipulated names presented to us as the names and wonderful names of God. Yes, accepted. But in the tongue of the origin, in the tongue of heaven, because the day I met the God, he did not speak English with me. He spoke Igbo. And in the tongue of heaven, which is the Igbo language, as testified by Nnamdi Kanu, I am seconding that testimony that the language of heaven is Igbo. I did not see India there. I did not see Arab there, unless they have their own heaven somewhere. Unless they have their own God. But from what they worship is the reminiscences of the projectory influence of what our fathers served. When Moses went to the people in Egypt, he did not tell them he brought a new God, but the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. It was not a new religion to the Israelites. They know about that God who have come to save them because they are the descendant and seed of Abraham. Upon that note, upon this testimony, I stand to review this secret concerning the spirits. When I finish revealing this secret, now I can be able to teach you about the institution of Aguishi, so you can be able to comprehend it, depth knowledge and science behind that institution. If I go straight to tell you about the institution, you will not understand where we are coming from. It will sound like a story to you, but I'm going to give you a background, a foundation upon which you will stand to be able to confront that which is accompanying Aguishi, because a lot of things is involved. So it is not just a story. So because of that, I want to tell you one secret that Igbo man carry. All of us believe and we know that what they know Igbo man with is Ishiago. What is the meaning of that Ishiago clothes that Igbo man wear? Go and ask your king. If he say he is a true king of the land, he should tell you the reason why Igbo man wear Ishiago. Either Odom, the lion, or tiger, Ago. You know, this is the two symbols of Ishiago that Igbo man is known with. The question is, why? What does it symbolize? Is it because Igbo man chooses Ishiago to be his animania symbol? No. So on that note, I want to discuss these symbols in the culture before we now move into Aguishi, so that I can be able to understand why the Aguishi. Minus this thing, Aguishi to you will seem to be the devil, because that is what the church makes us to understand, that the religion of our land is fetish. But our religion is the necromancy of both black and white magic altogether. You see, the shell that cover black and white magic is the culture of Igbo man. In it is the summand of all that is called decree, all that is called knowledge, all that is called science, and the black and the white magic. All are incumbent in the tradition and culture of the religion of Amadioha. So separation of it makes it evil, because the two goes together. Black and white, light and darkness move together. Now, I want you to know the source, how the world failed, and why we are where we are today. Take note. The ram. The ram in the animality is the symbol of the presence of Kamano, Kalobisi. I have said this thing before to the Hebrew tongue. Go to the Hebrew tongue and ask about Kalubisi is Kamanu they call Kalubisi. Go there and ask and come and tell me that I lied. Go to the Hebrew tongue and ask about Talubusi. T-U-L-U-B-I-S-I. Talubusi. Or B-U-S-I. Talubusi. Then go to the Hebrew language and confirm Kalubu. All these are names referred to only Kamanu. Kalubisi, Talubisi, Kaluku, Lewisu. These are the names ascribed to this one entity called Kamanu. And because he is the prince of the father, who bears the authority of anything that has to do with chieftaincy, traditional authority, chieftaincy affairs all over the world. I have said that in one of my videos that Kamanu is responsible. And his animania movement, his animania nature, his animania travel agent is the ram. He travels with the ram. Kamanu is not the ram. Rather, he travels with the ram. The ram is his transport animality. And when he is coming, you will see the ram. The ram is not the spirit. If your eye is open, you will see what is riding upon that ram. That is a Kamanu. So if he wants to show you himself, you will see his animality. That is number one. Number two, the goat. The goat is the symbol and the present of the land, the earth. If you look at if you are a good Bible scholar, you will find out where the prophet revealed his vision. He saw the ram standing, and the goat came and knocked the ram off and remained kingdoms. The kingdom of the earth and the kingdom of heaven. That is just what that ram and the goat symbolizes. His two kingdoms. And when you look at that scripture very well, you see the goat knock off the ram and his horn, and other horns to grow. Many different kingdoms and all that and all that. But that's not the lecture of today. We are heading somewhere. And now, the dog. The dog is the travel agent of Ezenwani. Iyafo. We have two Ezenwanyis. I want to reveal it to you today. Ezenwani Warangalaba. That means the Ezenwani of 5 hands that makes you and I to have 5 fingers. Our mother has 5 hands. The mother of all creation. He has 5 hands this way, 5 hands this way. And that's similar to you and I have 5 fingers, representing his 5 hands. That means whatsoever each of those hands can do is the many gift man has in him. That is the symbol of the two, our fingers and our nail. It's different gifts that God have joined into us, what we can do. Now, in a displaying of his decree, his authority, in displaying of his powers, in displaying of his science, we can do as many wonders as possible, in which we and only our God has tapped energy from. How do I mean? Before I come to that direction, let me hit the point of this video first. Then, in the Animania travel, the Ezenwani year for travels with tiger, while the Amadoha himself travels with lion. So the Ezenwani of Igbo land is not the Ezenwani that has snake on his neck. That Ezenwani that has snake on his neck is the Obanje Ezenwani. It's not the Ezenwani of our own culture. So you out there who said that spirit or woman is holding you, or whatsoever spirit is holding you, if you are with the Ezenwani that has snake around his neck, you are with the Obanje spirit. That is the mother of all Obanje. And that snake around his neck is the Obanje in him, in her. The similitude of the snake above, which is the rainbow. In similitude of that, a lot of evil is found in that den of Ezenwani who has snake. It's like a human being. It does not have many hands, only the hands of a woman, but with plenty hair and a snake around her neck. That is Ezenwani Obanje. It's not Ezenwani of Igbo culture. The Ezenwani of Igbo culture is the one that rides upon tiger. And that is why Ishiago is what we use in our chieftaincy attire. And the Amadioha is that rise with lion. That is why the lion head is being used. This is the secret official. Go and ask your king to tell you if he knows this. So can you differentiate from the Eze1 you call and the Eze1 that the ordinary choose? So Iyafo is our own. Ekeore are for Mpo. These four deities has no snake relationship in their apparel or in their glorious appearance before man or before anything. Now, we are trying to differentiate people, the kind of spiritual people you meet and what they practice and who they call will tell you where you are, because good and evil is inside there, light and darkness is inside there, black and white is inside there. So you have to identify it proper. That is why you need this knowledge, so that you can know where you are going and who you are talking to. That is the one with the snake on her, is that Obanje spirit, is that is the one, that evil one. The is the one of the one that Igbo culture consult is Iyafo. And the Iyafo has daughters, 6 daughters and a son, which is Kamano. And the first daughter is called Adure, who rides upon tiger. The second daughter rides upon dog. So that is why in the culture we use dog. Whenever dog is used for a sacrifice, the spirit that uses it knows that it's referred to him or her. And the only lion visible with a man is the dog that is present in the house with a man. That is the presence of Amadioha and animality everywhere. So you who has dog in his hand, in his house, you love dog, that is the presence of the animality of Amadioha in the ancient day. So while the dog is there, the reverse, the Englishman has no name to give to a god. He now turned dog upside down because dog is a symbol of Amadioha and calling him God. That is how the language God came to exist. It's out of dog. Tell Englishman to search the origin of God. There is no origin of God. Go and ask questions. Go and research it anywhere. It is not in their language. It was borrowed in out of an incorporated idea of what to worship. Let us call it something else. Instead of it to be called Zeus or the Dagon of the Philistine or that of the Egypt. Now, the Israelites have a god. They have their own that they serve. And they serve him with a dog, with animality. So this dog, now let us call it God. So if you are calling God from here till tomorrow, nothing will answer you. Call a name. Dog is not a name of a god. And God is not the name of anything. I have researched. I have searched in the realm. There is nothing called God anywhere. Everything has a name. The supreme being we call, he is the King of Kings. He didn't say he is the God. He said he is the King of Kings. So he's not God. God does not exist anywhere. What exists is King. He's a king that exists, not a God. He said he is the King of all kings. And everyone that has been given authority to rule either water or mountain is called prince. It's not called a god. There is nothing God anywhere. So we have been deceived enough. Stop this your God nonsense language. Call him by his name. Either the Prince of Peace, either the Prince of Righteousness, either the Prince of the Earth, either the Prince of the Water. Just mention that Prince or the King. That is the two things that rule the universe. There is no God anywhere. This is the truth. This is the whole truth and nothing but the truth. The day we start to reverse this Englishman useless language is the day we begin to see the God manifest in the flesh by himself. We have been eaten up by this name God. But there is nothing like God anywhere. It's just the dog they turn upside down and call it God. That is what has been deceiving us. But now, he is either the king or his children the prince. If he is given order to rule over a water, he might be a king. The king of Persia or the prince of Persia. either the king of the Jew or the prince of the Jew. It's either the king of darkness or the prince of darkness. It's either the king of the water or prince of the water. There is no God anywhere. This is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. We will have to learn to call our God by his name, and then he will come down and do our will. And I want to testify to you, Igbo man, that Amadioha is your God. There is no other God. He is the King of kings. He is the King of glory. He rules over all. And that is the God you need to know. And by his name I come. I testify this. This is the secret. Now the bird is for life. Messengers of life. The hen is for messengers of life. These are humanities. So when we talk about the snake, we talk about darkness and death. Are you getting me? Now, how now did the snake speak with Eve? Are we now saying that Eve is that woman with snake in her neck that came to the earth? I want us to look into the mysteries surrounding creation and surrounding man. You know that if I am not worthy of speaking this, I would have collapsed by now before you on camera. Because I rule over all spirit, I have the right. Because I hold the scepter of authority, I have the right to expose whatsoever secret of darkness or whatsoever secret of the spirit before man. That which I have been authorized to speak, I will speak. So I want you to separate yourself from Omenala onto the dark and black magic of Omenala. In the ordinary Igbo, there are so many Omenalas. Which of the Omenala are you involved with? Are you involved with Omenala Obanje? Or are you involved with Omenala witchcraft? Or are you involved with Omenala Ndotu? Or are you involved with Omenala Omenala? Which one is your lane? This is what we will separate in the Biafra land. In conclusion of this video, because I will not reveal this secret and still teach you about Aguishi civilization. So you go home and digest it. Digest the information I have passed for you, and let the king, let it be sound in the ear of every king on earth and tell me in Igbo land, why do we wear Ishiago? Why is Ishiago our symbol? If you say you don't like a Igbo man, or you say you don't like culture, don't you ever try to wear Ishiago. Ishiago means so much in Igbo culture. And that represents the Ezewan Adure, the first daughter of God. That is her symbol. That is her symbol. She rides on tiger. Tiger is the animality of her movement. She doesn't move with snake. So the Ezewan of snake is not our symbol. They do a lot of evil activities. And that is the activity that made Igbo culture look as if it's evil. I want you to identify the light in our culture and follow it. And then the right God is Amadioha. We will build the temple of Amadioha because the Israelites were asked to return to their native land and build the temple of their God and serve their God in his real name and manner. And up till now, that temple has not been completed. America is building temple of their own God because they borrowed the information from the book of the law called Bible. Jerusalem, Israel is building, but today have that God come down? No. But the day Igbo man complete the temple of Amadioha, then heavens will come down that day and join with this earth. You will know that this God will one day speak or will again speak to mankind. It is a charge duty that I have been called to let you know, you the Igbo and the black race all over the world. In as much as your skin is black, whether light black or green black or black black or dark black, or in as much as you are red black or red green, as far as this your hair does not stretch long, you are involved in this race. We must build Amadioha temple. That is what he has commanded. Then our freedom will come proper. If you like, believe. Oh. If you don't like, don't believe. I didn't beg you money. I have told you, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, the God of Jacob is Amadioha. Go and find out. Go, go, go. Start making your research now that I am speaking. And come and tell me I lied. And there is nothing like God in the history of anything called deity. Anywhere in the world, be it in the water, be it in the mountain, be it above the heavens, in the heavens of heavens, and the third and fourth and ninth heavens above. There is nothing like God. Only thing we find there is 4-letter word, king and prince, princess. Finish. That is all. The princess of the Sika, the princess of Amudia, the prince of Persia, the prince of Madinia, the prince of Medin, the prince of Allah. Alale all prince you. I am revealing this secret to you now. Go and find out and tell me I lied. There is nothing like God anywhere in the history of deity and man. What you will find there is the king, the prince, the king of kings, the king of Judea, the man. There's nothing like God. I have been in the waters. I have been under the waters. I have been in the mountains. I have gone outside the mountains. I have been to kingdoms upon kingdoms of the Father. And I have never found anyone anywhere being classified or addressed with the language of God. It does not exist. So how did this rubbish name came into our lips, into our tongue? That is why if we call our God, he will not answer. Now I want to shock you again. You have been praying with the name Jesus Christ and shouting and pulling mountains. So many did miracles with this same name, which are fake. Now I want to give you the real miracle. We believe that our Father will send his Prince of Peace and Righteousness. We believe that that is the only name given under heaven for mankind to be saved. Why don't you address your prayer in the name of the Prince of Peace and see whether there will be result or no result? I want you to test these names so that you know if Jesus Christ is a scam or a right word to use. I didn't say you should not call Jesus Christ, I didn't say you should not call your God, but I want you to learn the habit of addressing him by his name, then you can get answers. Because the way Amana prayers have been leveled and hollered, Israel did not pray up to that extent before God take action. But we have prayed more than expected, yet no action. So I want us to redirect the thought and the prayer pattern. Let us begin to see action. Yes, I want us to redirect and begin to see action. Let us see if the environment will remain the same if we remember our God. Come unto me and I will come unto you. Seek and ye shall find. Ask, it shall be given unto you. Knock and my door shall open. The Father did not restrict any of us from getting anything from him. The Father did not restrict anybody from getting any information. The Father made it very open. He gave all mankind access to his mystery. He gave all mankind access to his power. He gave all mankind access to his creation. But man is required to act. When man acts upon his word, he will see his mystery made manifest. So what is that act of man in the mysteries of God? That act is what I have revealed to you now. The Ishiago Alibu, which we will wear as a cloth anytime we come to do title business. What is the symbol? Why? The ato on Piele or Piehi we hold in our hand in the representation of a scepter. What is the meaning? Ask your kings. You will know that these kings are political kings. They are not of the land. It is time. Let me tell you. Look at Biafra at your door. Just look at Biafra at your door. Something needs to be done now to fix the environment. And one of the things that we must do is to set up the temple of Amadioha for the freedom of his children. Until that is done, you will not see the power and the glory of Amadioha reign from heaven. When that is done, heaven will open, this cloud will come down, and the whole world will know that this God truly exists. We will call him by his name. We will worship him in the manner in which he has appointed. Let all mankind worship whatsoever they may, or whomsoever they may. How they may to do it is their business. But I, Dr. Charles Chukwuemeka Amanze, have discovered the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, which is Amadioha. And upon that God, I will leverage all sacrifices. Unto him, I give all praise. The ram that Islam is sacrificed, who do they sacrifice it to? Which other God takes ram, if not Amadioha and Kamano? Mystery. The sacrifices you perform in Ghana, in Chad, all over the places that take dog, that take animality, which spirit takes it? Now, when they perform the sacrifice upside down, it becomes evil. They will not go the true channel. It is only in Igbo land that you can find the true channel of Omena Ali Igbo. That is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Today I have reviewed this information, and then the next lecture now I will now go into institutionalization of Agwishi, because these things are part of the things that we use to institutionalize Agwishi. Then in that Agwishi, I will bring you a rock, I will bring you a wood, I will bring you a metal, so that I can be able to use the Trinity to describe Agwishi before you. But for now, I wish you well. Subscribe with us, Eastern Youth Network. This is the platform where we sell your product. When I say product, I don't mean commodity. I don't mean your yam, I don't mean your chicken, I don't mean your commodity. The product I mean is the talent in you, the tree that God has made visible before me. You are the machine that God has created. And that indeed is many components, many talent that God has given to you. So that talent is what Eastern Youth Network is after in you, to sell and make you who God wants you to be. Subscribe with us in our channel. We must go on. We must move forward. We must move forward. We must move forward. And Biafra, here he comes. Biafra has come. Biafra is on our door. We need to perfect our environment. Nnamdi Kanu, I remain the master. Kamano in the flesh, I honor you. And anywhere you are, the God will always feed you with strength until the day your victory will be announced and you will come home crowned. I know this to be true. I testify it. In the name of Amadioha, great King of glory. Amen. I wish you well.